Alright, this is my Dodge Tradesman 300. As you can see, it's a bus. Now, the story behind this thing, just a little bit, is that apparently back in 1977, somebody bought it for a school district, converted it into a bus. That was in Battle Mountain, Nevada. But I didn't buy it in Battle Mountain, Nevada. Somehow it made its way down to Las Vegas, Nevada. Someone purchased it, turned it into a camper somewhat. After a while, I guess they decided to sell it, and I was the one that bought it. This was my very first vehicle, and I bought it for $300. It only came with 3 chairs in the inside. The bench seat that I have in there is from my brother's truck. He wasn't using it at the time, so I'm using it. And I've had it for about 11 years since, and have done little to nothing to it. Shortly after I bought this thing, I joined the military, so I got shipped off and didn't really get to do anything with it. Now that I'm out of the military, it's time to do something with it. I had the cover off for now. I actually have it sitting in the shed right here, because I wanted to see how well it was running, and it does not run well at all. There was another carburetor that was on it, completely took it apart, cleaned it out, put it back on, still didn't run, put this carburetor back on after cleaning it up, and I got it to run, but it does not stay running. When I popped off the carburetor, looked inside the intake manifold, and it was just nothing but mud for the most part. So, I want to show you if I can possibly get it running. That's cool. I got this. There we go. That didn't last long. God dang it, what is this thing called again? The accelerator pump got stuck again. Let's see if I can get it to move. I'm gonna have to put you guys down for a minute. Alright. Got it moving again. Let's see. This little piece right here wasn't moving. Every time that piece moves, shoots fuel in here. Accelerator pump. Or at least what I believe is. I know very little to nothing about anything. And that's my problem. I can get it running for longer, but eventually it does end up spitting fire out of the carburetor every so often, and it will shut itself off eventually. So, what I'm going to do, after I've seen how dirty the engine is on pretty much the everywhere, try to clean up a little bit, and you can see I've wiped away some stuff here and there, trying to find some numbers, but not too successful. So I'm going to actually take everything apart after draining the coolant, oil, whatnot, pop off the carburetor and all this stuff up here, clean out as much as I can, and see where I can take it. Alright, before I drain the oil and whatnot, I want to give a quick tour of underneath the bus. Since I'm already under here, this is the front right tire, so you can get yourself orientated. Obviously the engine. All of its messiness. Don't know what that's all about. It's actually really tight under here, I barely fit. Luckily I don't need to jack it up or nothing though. Air tank over there, I think. I'm about to learn a lot about this thing. There's the oil filter over there behind that other orange thing. Whatever that is. Guess I'll learn what that is too. I guess I really should know about this before I tear it apart, but that's the fun. Alright. Alright, now I gotta remove the oil filter, and unfortunately for me, I do not have the proper tool for it. So I gotta try doing it by hand. But if I can't do it by hand, I have this and a hammer. Yeah. So this is what I was doing with the flat tip, in case you're wondering. If you don't have one of those strap tools to be able to properly take off a oil filter, you can shove a screwdriver through it pretty much. It makes the fuel filter completely useless. It makes a little bit of a splash mess, but it's another way of getting off. Pretty much you poke it all the way through as far as you can, and it gives you something to grab onto for good leverage. That way you can actually twist it off. And there it is. The hard way to take it off. Seems pretty dirty. Alright, I got done doing the oil. Well, some of the oil. Now, to do the coolant. Now, if I remember correctly, we're all upside down now. This is my radiator. And this should be where I drain it at, if I remember correctly. Which I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm not a mechanic. I don't know this stuff. Some of this is just going to be guesswork. But I do kind of remember that. Alright. It was the nozzle that I was showing, and it is emptying out now. In the meantime, in case you're wondering what my little hood even goes to, seeing as I get engine access from the inside. Here. Just recently got a battery for it. Pretty much the only thing that's new on this thing. And that is a 318. Bunch of washer fluid needs to be put back on. Alright, while the coolant is still dripping, I think I'm gonna take off this carburetor. All the linkage that connects to it, pop that thing right off. Alright, got the carburetor off, and freaking coolant's still pissing itself. As you can see down here, my gasket is completely wet. So I think I might have been leaking fuel out the sides. Another good reason to tear this apart and clean it all up. Alrighty. Let's see, I only got two hands, hold on. Alright. Not sure if you can see inside there really well, but it looks pretty nasty, doesn't it? Alrighty. I want to finish off the coolant and drain the fuel out of my carburetor so I don't have to worry about that spilling some other time when I'm not expecting it. And then start labeling everything so I know where it goes. It was a lot of work, but I finally got it done. Oh, torn apart. Nowhere close to actually done. Gotta clean all of this out because of this. Oh, come on. Yeah. So this is pretty much close to as much as I'm going to do today. I have work. I need to go to it. I need to make the money so I can pay for the replacement things that I'm going to be needing to replace. Like this. All the gaskets. Any parts that are broken, which it fortunately looks like none of them. I don't think this thing has ever really been cracked open before. 1977, and I think this is the first time anybody's ever seen it inside of this engine since it's been put together. So, fortunately, so far everything's looking actually pretty good. Looks disgusting, but good. Next, I think I'm going to start dropping the exhaust. But that's not going to be today, because I need to wash up and get ready for work. And eat something. I haven't eaten yet. Alright.